Hello everyone, and welcome to Series Part 4 Boss Strategy Guide. If you happen to miss the first 3 parts, don't worry, I'll have a link for them at the end of the video. Today we'll be covering Wormhole Bosses. That's right, each one of them is unique and has their own set of rules. So let me go ahead and guide you through the Wormhole Bosses in this video. Alright, looks like Dazul will be the first boss that we fight in the wormholes. His battle strategy is pretty simple. He likes to throw out spiky balls that just gotta dodge. He'll throw out balls on the ground that will explode into smaller spike balls. Those are a little bit harder to dodge, but they don't do a lot of damage. They do a decent amount of damage. And then he likes to spawn flies around you. Those flies will always go in one direction, so it's easy to just kind of walk out of the way and dodge them as they fly towards you. And then he'll do kind of like a swinging ball that goes around him, just like you saw there. And that's about it. Those are Dazul's moves. And as long as you can walk out of the way or jump or whatever, you shouldn't have much problem when fighting him. Looks like Hamaguchi is the next one. Hamaguchi is one of those bosses that a lot of players have troubles with. They don't realize that he has a lot of different moves with the red orbs. The red orbs do a lot of damage, and so do the flies. He's one of those bosses that's better taking on from a distance if you can do range. If you have to do close-up, you're going to want to try to maneuver around so that you don't get hit a lot. When you see he's doing his skill, you're just going to have to back off. The flies is probably the one that gets people the most. They don't realize how much these flies do damage. But besides that, the one where he splits the orbs out right here, that one is probably his next more lethal skill that people get killed by. Leviathan, probably the easiest boss out of all the wormhole bosses. He literally only does 2 skills. So he'll throw out orbs that will just explode into smaller orbs, and then he'll just fill blood on the ground around his body that you take damage if you stand in it. And that's basically Leviathan. 2-move boss, super simple. If you happen to be a range character, you could just kill him super easily and just kind of evade his blood orbs. Super easy. Kenichiro is a little bit different compared to all the other bosses. He'll shoot out a bunch of magic waves that, I don't know, it seems weird because they do have like a somewhat of a homing, but they don't at the same time. Guess it depends how close you are to it. Next, he'll throw out all of these pentagrams on the ground. You don't want to touch them. They do damage if you walk into them, and they can hurt bad. This move right here, he uses portals, and after the portals have finished, out comes 2 pairs of hands that try to grab you. They lock onto your position, so you can dodge at the last second, but it's a little bit hard. So you gotta watch out for the portals. You don't want them to grab you. Batankamon, one of the bosses that a lot of players hate a lot. He likes to throw out a lot of wind damage, and there's not really any way to negate that besides maybe block or dodge. So doing the laser beams, doing the tornadoes, all of this stuff does a lot of damage, and you just got to try to evade it. The laser beams are probably what will do the most damage to you, so you don't want to get hit by his wrath. Besides that, he does have hands that show up around his body that come from the ground. That's considered trap damage. So if you happen to have a Kodo's wedding band ring on, You won't take damage from the hands coming out of the ground if you happen to be attacking him at point blank range. He does spawn a sarcophagus. I literally don't think it does anything. I think it's there to distract you so that you don't pay attention to him, and he can just kill you because you're looking at the sarcophagus. It seems to not do anything. You don't have to kill it or anything. He's not immune. Yeah, I think it's just for show. Abomination, probably the second easiest boss in all of the wormholes. He literally only has 2 moves. One move is spikes all over the place, and the second move is the gas outside of his green circle. As long as you're standing in the green circle, take no damage as long as you evade the spike balls. And once you get his health down a little bit, he will then despawn the balls and start moving the green circle around his body in a counterclockwise circle, and that's it. Akri. Akri is a lightning boss that literally only has a couple moves. He basically does lightning scissors, which can do a lot of damage, possibly one-shot you if you don't have any lightning resist. Secondly, he does lightning twister, which is where he just throws out a couple orbs that zigzag towards you. And then he does lightning ambush, which is where he pulls in lightning orbs towards his body and then shoots them back out. That's basically Akri. Akri doesn't have a lot of moves, and his basic attacks don't seem like they do almost anything. Pololo. Definitely one of the bosses that I hate the most in this game. I think some of my friends would agree. Those spike balls do some heavy damage, and on top of that, he throws down a wormhole right under his body that tries to suck you in towards him, which makes it even harder for you to dodge the spike balls when he throws them out. He always does 2 in a row, so pay attention to that. You don't want to dodge the first one and then not see the second one coming. And then the only other 2 moves he does is he charges at you, which pretty easy to evade that, and then he drops a bunch of fire from the sky, which is also pretty easy to evade. But his 2 biggest moves you want to watch out for is his spike balls and his suck. Conjured Mask. Probably one of the bosses that when you first see in here, it's going to scare you because it looks kind of like Scream, and then it like rushes straight at you. Literally only has 2 moves in wormholes. He just spits out a bunch of orbs that tend to try to home in on you, and then when he's doing like a rush, he actually doesn't hit you with his physical body. That's more for show. But he will do something called Bullet Hell, which is where he just sprays out like 20 orbs instantly all in one direction, and it's kind of hard to dodge. One of the easiest ways to fight this boss is to kite him, because he'll keep following you, so you could just keep kiting him if you happen to be ranged. If not, running around in a circle and attacking him with melee is another option. But yeah, pretty easy boss for the most part. King Korga. King Korga is like the scorpion of wormholes. He will try to take out his hook and pull you into him. He uses a move called Dash that does a lot of damage, so don't let him hit you with that. I have died on hardcore because of it. And he also uses a skill called Horn, which drops a bunch of arrows from the sky in one section. You can dodge that by simply walking out of the line of fire. You can see the circles on the ground, so just don't stand in them. Besides that, Korga's not too hard. He's not that bad if you happen to do range against him. He might be a little bit more intimidating if you use melee. Last but not least, the boss that everybody hates inside Wormholes, Gabriel. Gabriel is a fallen angel that happens to do only like 3 moves, but his moves everybody hates. So Swift Death, he flies around the screen dropping these blood drops. They do trap damage, so if you happen to wear Koto's wedding band, you can take 0 damage for standing in him. He does another move where he stops in the middle of the screen and he does a bunch of slashes. I don't think I got that on video, but just watch out. He can do like a series of slashes really quickly. And then his most lethal move that everybody hates is called Total Annihilation. Total Annihilation is a one-shot move, and the only way to negate that is to stand behind the crystal that he spawns in the middle of the floor. There is a possibility that you can kill him before he gets a chance to summon Total Annihilation, but a lot of players have attempted this and died because of it. Most of us will just hit the vote reset button because we don't even want to attempt it. We don't want our character to get killed. But, you know, everybody's got their own price, and the price is right, then make it. As you can see, I took a hit from Total Annihilation, I had 12 billion health, and it one-shotted me. And with that, we end the Boss Strategy Guide series. Thank you guys so much for checking out my videos. I hope that they helped you. And if you guys need further information, please feel free to check over my videos or come see me on Twitch live Monday through Fridays. Thanks, guys.